Hey everybody, it's the Abstractionist. I'm here with Mercury Summer 2024. I was like watching back one of my videos that I made for a moon and I said 2025 and I'm like, yeah, where was I? So this is for Mercury. This is for people with prominent Mercury placements, Virgo, Gemini in their chart. So it doesn't really matter to me, but it's just like a prominent placement, right? Mercury is prominently aspected or in a certain sign that's in like domicile or detriment or whatever. So it has a significant part to play in your chart as a whole. And so that's kind of where I'm going with it. So I read by planet as a result. So the reading is going to say Mercury, but I'll put like Gemini, Virgo next to it, maybe. I'm using the Mundane Magic Tarot, and this is a tarot cloth that I made. I'm gonna make more of them, but I gotta kind of get my sewing life together anyway. Yeah, slowly making things, slowly. And it has another side. It's that side. So anyway, so Mercury Summer 2024. What are the messages? Usually I try not to. Okay, so we're gonna zoom in just a little bit. So the message that I got is hurry up and get this. And that to me just means, I would say summertime could be a time of speeding up for you. Summertime could be a time of communication that's fast, quick, sudden endings, sudden beginnings, new starts, all that kind of stuff. I feel like I have to stimulate myself with the cards, like doing shuffling. There may be a lot of energy, so you may have also a prominent, okay, I'm trying to figure that out. Prominent Mars placement as well. So you could have a Mars in Aries, like a fire sign or something like that. Or like a prominent house. So like hurry up and make a decision, hurry up and make a move, hurry up and do something. So you may, in this part of your life, summertime, be making a lot of decisions that will impact you going forward, and they're very quick decisions. They're quick decisions. They're decisions that you had to make. They're not decisions that you wanted to make. So there's a difference. So I think it's like when you look back on it and somebody asks you about this decision, you'll say, I had to make this decision. I didn't want to make this decision. And people will understand and get what you're talking about, and they'll empathize with you. So it does seem like the choice that you have to make is a hard one, and it's not one that's necessarily a great like ending to it. It's one that has to be done and has to be moved through. So this could be a relationship breaking up. This could be dealing with it's a lot of maybe relationships or just things that you wanted to do, like letting it end, letting it go, letting it die, and you had to do it. It's something you have to do. It's some obligation you have to let go of. It's something like that. It's something that's also been in your mind for a really long time as far as the concern. It's built up. It is something that you just think about often. It's related to your sort of security, stability. It's related to those things. And so you really have ideas about how it should have gone, but didn't. And so in summer, I know we're like kind of heading into fall pretty damn soon because it's basically August. Heading into fall, I think there is a settling into the idea, or settling into the heartache, the heartbreak, the struggle, and perhaps that is when you'll fully kind of realize what the issue was or how much grief there is involved in it. And it could be just the grief of change, the grief of changing to someone else, the grief of losing someone, like breaking up or otherwise, the grief of just having to shift and make tough decisions, having to grow up, mourning your old life, your childhood, mourning innocence, more just like those transitional themes, I think, are going to come up a lot for Mercury. We're heading into Mercury retrograde, I think people have been saying, and so this may be a time where that comes up. I would make sure that you just take some time to kind of think about what it means for you to make decisions that you don't want to make but have to, right? Have to make. You have to quit this relationship. You have to quit, drinking. You have to quit stuff because there are consequences to what you're doing. And they are very long term, or they like have finally caught up with you, right? They have finally accumulated to the point where you have to deal with it. You have to look at it. You have to face it. And so the summertime is the time where I don't think we're listening the most. I think wintertime, we're like very, very bombarded with messages about what we need to face, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere where it gets dark early and it gets less and less sunlight towards the end of the year, and then like the first quarter of the next year, realizing that summertime is kind of an escape for a lot of people, especially if they go on vacation. They escape their life, they escape what they're trying to figure out, like by going on vacation. They hang out a lot, they eat a lot, they drink a lot, they party a lot, they hook up a lot, they do a lot of things. They're more generally active, fastidious, very changeable, maybe neurotic, and that energy of summer, of going, really lends itself to not paying attention to what you need. And then when you get to the fall and winter, you're slowing yourself down and you're really dealing with like not the consequences per se, but just like the natural progression of there are decisions that are made and there are consequences to them, and to acknowledge the transition from the decision making, right? So we have the circumstances that lead up to the decision, we make the decision, and then we have the fallout from whatever that decision was, and the ability to kind of process that and accept whatever it has been in any direction is something that people find really hard, especially if it's dealing with loss. People don't really get it, or they don't want to get it. They don't want to deal with it. I'm going to get the deck of emotions, and I'm going to use that for this one because I really wanted to use it. So let's see. All right, so it's the deck of emotions, as you can see. So let's kind of see what's going on here. I just want one to pop out. These are so huge, so it's just kind of like, oh God, oh God, oh. This is what it looks like. This is what it is. Contempt. Oh my goodness. So we have contempt. Whether smirking, sneering, or turning away in cold indifference, being filled with contempt inflates us with a sense of superiority. Even at its mildest, contempt condescends with amused detachment. Some say contempt is a closed door, spelling the end of our relationship with those we feel it towards, but just as often it can stir new conversations into life. Contempt can be a form of political protest for the disempowered. When disdain is expressed by those thought to have no business looking down on anyone, cozy privileges can be disrupted and a realignment of power envisioned. I don't think I said that right. Okay, in the 20th century, contempt became a core strategy of protest culture. In 1911, suffragettes roller skated the night away to avoid the census. We don't count, we won't be counted. More recently, hundreds of women joined an online campaign around mansplaining, mocking the men who, assuming their female colleagues were less informed about the topic than they were, explained it to them in oversimplified terms. In the 20th and 21st century history of women's rights, contempt has played a crucial role, laughing in the face of convention in the hopes of shifting consciousness, or at least getting a conversation started. So, this may be, I know it's for me, I know where it is in my life, but this may be an issue of contempt. Like, you didn't want to make these decisions. You didn't want to do this. You didn't want, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't want to do this, but you had to do it. You looked at the situation and it was just so fucking shitty that you had to do it. And so dealing with contempt and what that means for you and facing what that means for you is something that it's probably a Mercury retrograde thing that's going to happen. So, with that in mind, we'll work through the feelings of contempt. We clearly have a lot of like political type things with the card, but it may not even be that. It may just be like just not socio-political, just your social interactions or just things that piss you off. Things that have pissed you off or just anger you about certain situations that you've had to perhaps accept in order to move forward. And now I think going forward in the fall and winter seasons, you'll be able to deal with them and process them a lot more, because you'll be able to see where the discontent is, because we have 8 of lattes, 8 of cups, 3 of swords, 10 of wands, lighters is flames, knives is swords. Things that are with the Empress and the Hierophant you're beholden to or feel beholden to. So these are some things that you want to work on, right? So that is what I have for you, Mercury. Summer 2024. Let's get it. Wrap this joint up. Move into fall. Happy Mercury retrograde. It's coming, I think, in the next month or within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Something like that. But keep me posted. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.